Okay, there we go. So 2.4, number 1. All right, lots and lots of words. You don't even need to read all those words. Let me cut through it for you a little bit. The formula is B is 30A. Just grab that formula. B is 30A, and then blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Is there some other number that, because we just care about the numbers, really. I mean, we do care about the words, but not all the time. There it is. There's the other number, right? 1700. So what am I supposed to do with that 1700? Can I just like plug it in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's how you know for sure. It says, look at the units. That'll if you're at all unsure what it plugs in right there. How I know for sure is because look at the units. It's 1700 what? 1700 square feet. Yeah, square feet. Units. I used to kind of not like units. I used to think they were just a pain. I wish they weren't there. Until I took physics, and then units really helped me out because I didn't know how to do problems a lot of times. And if I just watched the units, I kind of knew what to do with things. So square feet, right? That's a foot squared. That's like, look at the ground. We have, those are, you can tell they pulled up the tile a couple years ago. Those are square feet marks left behind, right? A square foot is like that. It's a foot by foot square. So literally a square that's 1 foot by 1 foot. So those are square feet on the ground. So when it says, so I don't have to second power anything, right? I hope that's not confusing you. You don't need to second power anything. It's just telling you what they are. There's 1,700 of these square feet things, right? So anyway, what I'm saying is that clues me in because right up here, look what it says. A, the letter I'm focused on, is square feet. See that? So A is square feet. 1,700 is square feet, so A is the 1,700. That tells me, oh, just pop that 1,700 in for A. Just following the unit trail. Make sense? So that means it's just a plug-in. That's all this one is. Just plug in that 1,700. Hit the buttons on your calculator. Is it a 51 with 3 zeros? I think, yeah. 3 times 17 is 51, and there's 3 zeros. I don't think so. No, I'm just counting zeros.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
1, 2, 3. So there we go. Good on that? Oh, yeah, they just have you type in the number. You don't have to do anything with the units. It's technically not square feet anymore. You plug in square feet, and you get how many BTUs are required to heat or cool that many square feet. So the answer's in BTUs. But anyway, they've already got the units there for us. We don't have to do anything. Then part B, there is a part B. Let's do that. Part B says solve that formula for A. So let's start again. Same formula, B equals 30A. And they want me to solve this thing for the A. In other words, there's a wall, little a saying, I want to be alone. So how do we take that formula now on part B and get the little a alone?
Divide by 30 on both sides.
Just divide by 30, both sides, exactly. Because why is it I divide and I don't subtract the 30? Because it's right next to the, it's times, huh? The opposite of times is divide. Exactly. If that 30 was added, then I would subtract it, wouldn't I? Divide by 30, boom, there's the answer. It's just B over 30. Make sure you do capital B. Math Excel is case sensitive. They will hassle you about that. It will hassle you about that. So there's our answer. Is that good? Parts A and B on that? All right, if I flash that off of there. Let's see. All right, so the formula M equals 1/5 T. Let me write that down. This is the thunder lightning formula, I guess. The formula M1/5 can be used to determine how far M in miles you are from lightning when its thunder takes T seconds to reach your ears. Oh, you got to divide by 5? I didn't know that. If it takes 8 seconds for the sound of thunder to reach you after you've seen the lightning, how far away is the storm? Oh. I wonder if that's true. Is that true? Anyway, somebody could type into Google, say how do you what's the light? Anyway, it's probably I assume it's probably kind of accurate. All right, so how do we do that? So that's the lightning thunder kind of thing, right? Why does that work? Do you know the idea behind that? Like when you see lightning flash, in the sky, and then you hear the thunder 10 seconds later. What is that? Why does that tell you how far away that is? Do you get a feel for that? It's because of what principle? What physics principle? Light travels faster than sound, right? You know what I mean? So in other words, wherever the lightning is, it happens, and the light gets to your eyes instantaneously, right? The light travels from where the event occurred to your eyeballs, very, very fast, light does. But the sound takes longer. Both the light and the sound leave at the same moment, but it takes the sound a lot longer. You ever seen that? You watch a baseball game far away, right? You'll see the person hit the baseball. You'll see it, and then a second later you'll hear it thump. It's because it took longer for the sound to get. Sound travels much slower than light does. And so that's why if you see it and then you count, then you know how long it took that sound, because the event happened the second you saw it. But it took whatever for the sound to get to you. So you're counting, and then you know how far away that lightning struck from you. So, all right, so how do we do it? So they're basically giving us a little formula. They're saying 8. I don't even need to read all those words, really. 8. What do you think I plugged that in for?
T.
Yeah, how do I know to be sure? It says 8 what? Seconds. And T says I'm in seconds, so 8 is T, right? Just pop the 8 in for T. So 1/5 times 8. It's times, right? There's no symbol. It's multiply. There's no symbol in between. So do they want, how do I simplify? What do you do with that? I don't know if they want a decimal. If they want a fraction, the 8 is over 1, so it'd be 8/5, huh? If they want a decimal, it'd be 1.6, I think, yeah. I don't know, whichever one they want. 1.6, and that's miles. So that means the lightning is 1. So notice you just divide by 5. Do you guys see the formula? You just count. So once you see lightning, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, until you get to 10, then you hear the thunder. Then divide that by 5. 10 divided by 5, 2. It's 2 miles away. That's how far away that lightning is. So just divide the number of seconds by 5, and you know how far away the lightning is from you. That's what that is showing. All right, we'll move on. I just got interested because there are other ones coming that we need to look at. So capital N equals little n squared minus n. Let's just do it real quick. So blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to read all those words. Where's the number? 3, right there. Guess what I'm going to do with that 3? Plug it in. So just plug it in, plug it in. I could read, make sure, but it's what it is. So it's 3 squared minus 3. 9 minus 3. 6, we're done. Is that good? All good? It is right, because see it says n is teams, 3 is teams, so little n is 3. That's right. It's all the words you really need to look at. All right, I'm going to move on. Okay, so what are we doing in this section? What is this section about? It's about formulas. It's about equations that have more than one letter. Instead of just x, they have, like this one has m and n. There's the wall. You're supposed to solve for m, it says right here. Get m alone. So m is saying I want to be alone. So what do we do to get the m alone? Just subtract that 4, huh? Both sides, gonzo. And that's it. We're done. That's all there is on that one. Does that make sense? We're just doing the same old equations. They have more than one letter now. That's all that's different in this section. All the same rules. It's just there's more than one letter. Stop me if you want to talk about it. I'll just keep moving. So y equals 11 minus x. Solve for x, they're saying. So can you do that one? X is saying I want to be alone. So solve for x then. So what do we do to get x alone? Subtract 11, first step, gonzo. So then we have y minus 11 equals x. Is that right? No, don't forget the negative, huh? Good to there so far? Let me let you finish it. You got to get rid of that negative that's on the x, huh? Yeah, multiply or divide. Either one will work. That's true. Let me make this a little bigger. Yeah, so when we have a negative on the x, what I usually do is divide by -1. And now, remember when you divide on one side, you have to divide on the other as well, all the parts. So you divide them both by -1, right? You got to divide everything by -1. Good so far? Now, this side has two negatives, which is positive. That's why we did it, because we wanted to make it a positive x. Good. Now, what about the other side? The other side, it's just all about the sign. So right here, this is positive over negative is negative y. This is negative over negative, which is positive. And we're done. We don't leave ones on the bottom, do we? We never leave ones on the bottom, because dividing by 1 doesn't change anything, does it? It's just the signs I'm really focused on, huh? Right? So 1 positive, 1 negative is negative on the y, and 2 negatives for the 11 makes positive on the 11. So yeah, you know, if you want to just skip a step, when you're at the negative x equals whatever, just reverse both the signs, you're done, huh? It's always that way. You know what I mean? You can say, well, look, I'm at y minus 11 is negative x. I need regular x. Oh, just reverse it. Regular y, negative. Negative 11, positive. Done. That's what it always effectively does, huh? When you divide through by -1 or multiply through by -1, same effect. It just reverses all the signs. Good? On that? All right. Just trying to do the hardest ones. Okay. So we have A equals xv plus x. xv plus x. So they want you to solve, you know, they could pick any letter, by the way. They could say solve for this, solve for that. Which one do they want you to solve for? It says for v. So just, if it helps you, you could circle the v, kind of like keeping your eye on the ball, baseball or something, you know, focus on that v. You got to get that alone. That's the one that we're trying to get alone. They could have picked any of the letters. So get v alone. So go ahead, do what's necessary there to get the v alone. Remember, you save the x right next to the v for last, huh? Get rid of the added x first. Do your adding, subtracting first, your dividing last. So subtract x. Good to there so far? So far, so good. Now what do we do to finish getting x alone? No, v alone, huh? V alone, but keep my eye on the ball. Get v alone, divide by that x, right? So I'm going to divide through both sides by x. Now, how do you divide the other side? Let me give you guys two options. They're both right. Either way is fine. You could just divide the whole thing by x like that. And that's a fine answer. That's the way you're going to see it on the test. I'm pretty sure if I'm remembering it. That's the way they usually show it on the test. So practice exam today, real exam tomorrow. They'll just show it like that. There's another option, though. Or you could just divide each of them separately by the x. Do you see how that's the same thing? And then this one can be simplified one more step. But let me first show that. Does that make sense, how that's the same thing? So when you're dividing two things by x, you can just do one big bar, which means they're both dividing by the x, or two separate bars, each getting their own x. Same thing. Either way, it's right. I'm pretty sure this is how the test will leave it. On the multiple choice, right? You'll be looking for the ABC. It'll look like this. They usually just leave it one big fraction. But Math Excel knows this is the same as well. How could I, and if you do this, if you separate it like this, then you could make that a over x minus 1, because x over x is just 1, huh? So this answer is really the same as this answer. They're the same. There are two ways to say the same thing. One important rule is you cannot cancel the x. No. That's a no-no. You cannot cancel the x's there, but here is fine. Why? Pluses and minuses glue things together. We're going to get real serious about that in not very long here in the summer, probably week after next. We'll go crazy with all these big fractions with x's top and bottom and everything, and I'll really be beating the drum at that point about that. But let me just say it quickly for now. Yeah, because a lot of people think they can cancel these x's right here. You cannot when there's pluses or minuses. Pluses or minuses are kind of like glue. That's a good way to think about it. You know, if this was times, if you had a times x over x, then that's okay. But pluses and minuses, no. It like glues the top together to where you can't take part of it. It's all one unit. So that's enough for now. We'll get real serious and I'll get you more details about exactly how it all works. But for now, plus and minuses, sticks it together. That's why it just stays like that. Nothing cancels. But if you want to separate it, you don't have to. Not at all required. If you want to separate it, then these guys can cancel because there's no glue there now, right? So enough said. The test will leave it like that. We'll just leave it like that. Is that okay? Questions on that? Favorites. I'm just kidding. But they are important. They come up all the time. What's that? R plus S plus T? R plus S plus T over 7. All right. What have we been saying about denominators in an equals problem? What do we always do with denominators in an equals problem? Kill them. Multiply. Yeah, and I'm not going to do top bottom. I'm not even thinking top bottom when I have an equal sign. When I have an equal sign, all of my thinking is left right. Left right of the equal sign, huh? So left right, 7, huh? Get rid of that denominator. So 7. And only one 7 on the right side because there's only one fraction. It's one big fraction, isn't it? And let him do his job. He kills denominators. So let him do that. Sometimes I'll see students at this point make a mistake and they'll like distribute or something. What are they forgetting when they're distributing? That's not right. Why is that not right? Because what's his job in life? He's here to kill. Let him kill. He's not there anymore. So I guess he's kind of a suicide killer. Whatever. Trying to make up all these weird analogies. But whatever. Let him do his thing, right? He cancels out that other 7 and he's gone. He's not there to distribute anymore. Right? Make sure you do that. That's his whole purpose. That's why we're doing it. We didn't want denominators anymore. Right? All right, good. So I'm doing left and right of the equal sign. Same thing to both sides. What we always do with equations. Here's the wall. So 7y equals r plus s plus t. Good so far. No more fractions. Much nicer. We always get them out of there right away. Much nicer, easier to deal with. Now, who's the ball? Who are we trying to get alone? S. Here's the ball. Keep your eye on the ball. S is saying, I don't want to be alone. I want to be alone. So what do we do to get the S alone? Yeah, so subtract the R and the T. You can just do them both at once if you want. Subtract the R and the T. They're both added, so we subtract them both. They're both gone. And S is alone. And what does it equal? 7y minus R minus T. 7y minus r minus t. And that's our answer. Is that okay? Can I help with those steps in any way? Questions on that? Hey, make sure when you're typing into Math Excel you do the uppercase, lowercase, because Math Excel will give you, it'll hassle you. Capital Y. Because in the beginning it's capital I, small r, small t, right? So you don't want to. I don't want you to waste your time with Math Excel hassling you. So it is case sensitive. So be careful with that. Any questions on that one? So P equals 3m plus 3u. Which letter are we supposed to get alone?
And
The M, huh? Solve for M. You can circle it if that helps, or whatever. So M is saying, I want to be alone. So what do? We subtract the whole 3u, right? Do the adding, subtracting first. Like that. We get p minus 3u. Last step to get m alone. Divide, yeah. And like I said, I would just do the one big bar like that, and that's how it'll look on the test. I'm 99% sure that's how they leave the multiple choice answers. And again, you cannot, it's illegal to cancel those 3's. Why? Yeah, the adding, subtracting is like glue. It's all glued together up there. You can't take part of it. If that was times, it was p times 3 times u. You could totally cancel the 3's. It's the plus or minus that wrecks things, that kind of glues them together. So just got to leave it just like that. So that's our answer. Is that good there? Questions? Okay, so z equals AC over M. Okay. Try that one. So we have a denominator. So you know what to do. Call the hitman, kill it, right? Get it out of there. Next step, there should be no more fractions. So what are we going to do? Multiply both sides by the m. Right? Left and right. I'm not thinking top, bottom, I'm thinking left, right, because I have an equal sign. Equal sign, all my thinking is left, right. So what does it do? Does like, because it's really m over 1. You don't have to write it that way, but that's what it is. That's why it cross cancels, because it's really m over 1, huh? Good. And then what do we have from there? mz is AC. Good to there? Now, who are we? Oh, m. Trying to solve for m, huh? Right up here, solve for m. Got to keep your eye on the ball. So m is saying I want to be alone. So how do we get the m alone?
divide by z.
Divide by the z. Boom. There it is. M is AC over z. Is that okay? Questions I can answer? See how that works? So first step, we multiplied by the denominator like we always do. Let it do its job of killing the denominator. And then we got to here, and we just said, oh, we got to get m alone, divide by z. It's always easier once you get rid of the fractions, huh? So it's always, and you always do that in the first step by just multiplying left and right by the denominator. All right,